I know we usually do a huge big reveal when we're together, but that's old news.
And especially because we're gonna be hanging out way more, we feel like if every time we hype it up, you guys are gonna be like, really? Haley again?
And also, people don't really like us that much anymore, so it's not much of a surprise.
Yeah, true, we're canceled.
I'm sure you guys know by the title that today we are going to be reading your scary stories. If I'm going to title it that, I don't know yet.
Either way, that's what we're doing, surprise.
I am here in Canada for basically an entire week with Miss Haley Reese, and we're going to be filming a whole bunch of videos. We're going to be doing some funny videos for my channel, some haunted and paranormal videos for Haley's channel, so get ready for all the content.
And this time we're doing things differently. We're actually going to be uploading this video in real time. So when you guys are seeing this, Andrew's actually still in Canada, so make sure you guys comment down below all the funny and also scary videos you guys want to see from us, because maybe we wouldn't have thought of it if you didn't comment it. So go there now, comment down below what you want to see, because we are hyped to just film a ton of content for you guys.
Also, my subscribers are gonna be shook because I am in high definition right now. Listen, guys, I know, I am sorry. I have not done one of these reacting to your scary story videos in so long. I don't know why, but you guys love it so much and I like making you guys happy. So that's what I want to do today. And I'm really excited for it again, especially because since Haley and I have met, I've been telling her I've wanted to do one of these videos with her, and we never got around to it because obviously it's like kind of lazy content, but you guys love it and I just got here today and it's something easy for us to just like do really quick and get up on the internet for you guys to watch. So that's what we're doing. I found a really crazy story.
I know nothing about it. Let's just start by that. He keeps telling me how crazy it is, how scary it is. It's like a movie, but I've yet to hear it. So you guys are gonna be seeing my 100% God is my witness, genuine reaction to this subscriber story.
And that's what we're gonna be doing. So I hope you guys love this video just as much as you used to. If you do, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe because
he's about to hit 100,000 and I want him to hit it while he's here so we can celebrate. So if you guys happen to be from my channel and you've just yet to subscribe to Andrew, make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Let's get him to 100K. And if you do, we might just have a pretty wild live stream for you guys during our little party.
Before we get into the video, I just want to say that we did another video reacting to one of your scary stories over on Haley Reese's channel. It is another insane story that Haley picked. Don't forget to go watch that right when this video is over. And all right, let's start reading. So I got this email from Brandy. She actually sent it to me as the Reddit link because she put it on Reddit. And I know it's her because her email is the same as
the Reddit link, like the Reddit email?
The title of this email is, "This is the true story about my mom being possessed. And I don't think the demon ever left." Okay, it's really small too and my eyes are terrible, so it's just, I'm gonna butcher it. "I don't know why this has been on my mind lately, but I can't stop thinking about that night. The night when my life was changed forever. The night I was forced to see and believe in the supernatural. I'm hoping if I tell my story, I can move on and leave this in the past. We were never allowed to let the outside world know we had any kind of problems. And this was way beyond anything else we kept a secret. I've been keeping this a secret for over 24 years, but I remember it like it was yesterday. The year was 1994 and I had just turned 12 in May. We always have hot summers in Kentucky, but that year I had a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. It was almost like an omen. Looking back on it now, it was almost like someone or something was trying to warn me. I was terrified that night, not knowing if my mom would make it out alive, or if she would even be my mom in the end of the night. My mom and stepdad had just been saved, born-again Christians, and everything became religious in our home. Whenever I read these stories, I stumble over every word.
In some of the possession cases that I've looked up into, for an example, the exorcism of Everly Rose, which is the exorcism of Annalise Michelle, she was a very religious girl. So it's interesting to me that she would say that everything was overly religious and it leads to obsession.
Although it was hard to adjust to a completely different lifestyle, I was happy. They were using drugs before that and everything was getting better because I had a normal family. We didn't have to worry about where the next meal would come from or how we would pay the bills. I finally had a sense of security. One day my mom was cooking like a normal mother and I was watching TV instead of fixing my brother and I something to eat. I was enjoying the break of being a kid again. Then all of a sudden I heard my mom say, "Go ahead if you think you can. I have the blood of Jesus protecting me." So I asked her who she's talking to. She said it like it was nothing, like it was an everyday event, that the demon on the counter, he said he would destroy me, but the blood of Jesus will protect me. I was terrified. I looked around and didn't see anything. I was jumping at every shadow. I was so scared. Later that night, as I lay in bed, listening to every creak or noise, thinking someone or something was gonna come out from my closet or under my bed and drag me to hell. I was so relieved that when the sun came out, it chased the darkness away. The next morning, my mom was so hateful and grouchy all day, but I didn't think much of it because I figured she didn't rest well. I mean, if I saw a demon, I would be grouchy too. That evening, when she was cooking spaghetti noodles, she bent over the boiling water to stir them. Her necklace, shaped like a cross, in front of my eyes, raised up and pressed against her chest. She just stood there like nothing happened. I screamed "Mom" several times, but she just kept standing there frozen. I began shaking her, and she came out of the trance she had been in and started screaming. We sat down to examine her chest, and there was a burn. Her skin had bubbled up in the shape of a cross, except the cross was upside down.
Stop it.
She started praying, and so did I. I was praying for God to hear her and to help. She took pictures of it to show the preacher, but he said there was a good explanation for that that the boiling water must have heated it and burned her when she stood up.
But in order to be upside down, it would have had to have flipped and come against her, which if you're laying like this, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh, how I wish he was right. But I knew what happened. I saw it. And if he was right, how did it burn upside down? I tried to tell him, but of course I was just a child with a wild imagination. And my mom couldn't remember anything from the time she started stirring the food until I shook her. The next few days were uneventful. I started to convince myself my mom didn't see the demon and that maybe she was having some sort of psychotic break from all the drugs she used to use before. But I soon realized I was just fooling myself. She started losing time and would say mean and hurtful things to me all the time and wouldn't remember it later. But it was always just me she would do that to. My brother was safe from all her rants and punishment. Of course I was happy she didn't do anything to him, but as I look back now, I wonder if it was because I was there that day she encountered it, and I was the only one who suspected something was wrong, like I was a threat to it somehow. She stopped being the mom she had become lately. She stopped cooking and cleaning and wouldn't read her Bible anymore. She also refused to attend church. Everyone thought she was slipping back into using again, especially when she started spending more time in that bed than out of it. So I decided to spend the summer with my grandma and grandpa. They were both preachers and I felt like they would protect me from whatever was inside my mom. I finally felt safe. Maybe if I had stayed, everything would have turned out differently. Maybe I could have helped her before it got as bad as it did, but I didn't stay and I left her to fight it alone. I regret that so much now. One night after we had come home from church, there was a lot of messages on the answering machine. So grandpa sat down to listen to them while we were getting ready for bed. I heard the worst sounds coming from that machine. I could hear my stepdad screaming, "Help me, help me. Please come, I don't know what to do. Melissa's gone crazy and I'm trying to hold her down, but she's trying to kill me." Meanwhile, in the background, I could hear my mom, but it didn't sound like her. It was like growling and screaming at the same time. I will never forget those sounds. It really sounded so scary. It was almost like she would come out of the machine, like she was coming for me. I could hear her whispering my name and at the same time screaming at him, telling him she's gonna kill him. But hearing my name like that was the scariest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Grandpa didn't even play the other messages. I've never heard them and I never want to. My grandpa screamed for us to get in the truck and said we have to go help Melissa. This wasn't easy because it was a single cab and there was 4 of us. My grandma, my grandpa, my aunt, and me. As we got closer to my house, my grandpa looked at everyone and said, "Start praying now. I feel like we're heading into something evil. I can feel it." I was shaking the entire ride, but I also wanted to be brave for my mom. So when I got there, they jumped out of the truck and started running toward the house. There were cars everywhere because my stepdad had called everyone he knew that was saved. But right before we went inside, my grandma said to me, "Stay outside. You're not saved, and whatever's in there can enter you as it leaves her." They left me outside alone. I was petrified and only 12. I could hear everyone praying and I could hear my mom talking in different voices at the same time. She was begging my aunt to come closer so she could tell her a secret. My aunt continued to pray. Then I heard my mom say, "Please come closer so I can bite your ear off. It won't hurt, I promise."
Oh my gosh.
That's when I became so scared to stay outside, and I wanted to save my aunt at the same time. So I went inside, and I wish till this day that I hadn't. My mom was on the kitchen floor, surrounded by knives, and everyone was holding her down, and she was managing to still raise up. She looked over at me as I came in and said, "Oh, baby girl, come to mommy. I want to show you something." I was frozen. I couldn't even move. There were 10 people holding her down, and she was still moving closer and not paying attention to any of them. She was looking right at me. They had taken all of the mirrors down, and I didn't understand why at the time, but now I know it's a portal for demons and entities that they were trying to get rid of completely. I stood there staring. I couldn't make my legs work. She turned her head side to side, but it was unnatural. She was bending further than she should have, saying things I didn't understand, like she was speaking in tongues. This went on for hours. Everyone kept praying. She kept taunting me, and I kept standing there. Finally, she screamed for what felt like forever, and then started foaming at the mouth. She expelled all that was coming out of her mouth onto the kitchen rug, and started talking like she normally does. Everyone was so happy because they thought it was over, but with every hug she gave, she looked at me. She told my stepdad to burn the rug, and started explaining how the demon got inside of her. She said she basically invited it in when it said it would destroy her, and said go ahead if you think you can. She unknowingly gave it permission. She told everyone it was about 3 feet tall, and was completely black like a shadow. When she came to hug me, I was crying happy tears because I thought my mom was back and okay. As she leaned in, I was saying I love you, and she said it back where everyone could hear, and then softly growled and whispered in my ear, "I will get you soon." I jerked back and looked at her, and she was smiling the most evil smile I have ever seen. I tried to tell everyone, but they assured me it was over, but I knew it was only the beginning.
I need, to know what happens next.
I know, I should ask for updates. I'm sure she has them.
You need to ask for updates, because if that was only the beginning, it's been how many years now? There has to be more. This could be a part 2. I have chills for starters, and every single thing that was said throughout that entire thing is steps of actual cases of demonic possession.
Oh, really? So, it was all, factual?
Correlated. It starts out, when somebody's starting to become possessed, typically, you start losing track of time, you start lashing out. A whole day could pass, you could have went through the whole entire day, but at the end of the day, you don't recollect on anything.
Yeah, you don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Right? That I know.
You lose time. That's why when people play the Ouija board and they lose time, it's a sign that you've messed with something very, very dark, because it takes time from you. You start to get angrier at people. Oftentimes there is one specific person that you may or may not lash out at more. That's not always a thing, but there is a time where that may happen.
So that was her little brother.
That was her. Wasn't it her?
No, she lashed out the worst at her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying she there's sometimes if if the demon feels threatened by you, they will most certainly like make it a point to instill fear in you, because the more fear that's instilled in you, the less likely you are to challenge it. And I think because she knew of it, the demon was very well aware of her recollection. Like, I really believe that would be the way that an event like that may go. Although it is interesting to me that it didn't require a proper exorcism and that simply the power of prayer removed a demon.
Like, maybe they were doing the proper, like, exorcism things.
And she just didn't, yeah. Perhaps, yeah. But, I mean, that's really scary.
Wasn't that crazy?
No, that's like...
And, like, I don't get the vibe that it was fake or anything. Like, I genuinely believe her.
You know, here's the thing. I say this in all of my videos. As somebody who's had, like, insane paranormal experiences, I would never sit down and discredit somebody for the experience they've shared. Because I know that mine are real, and I hate when people discredit me.
Right.
So I feel like, one, it was so well written, it was so detail-oriented, it seemed like there was a lot of emotion put into it, and I personally feel as though it was real.
I never felt like I lost connection from her. Like, I never felt like...
Like it was getting too much of a storytelling rather... Yeah, same.
It was literally just her. Like, and
we need you to get updates.
It was how she was feeling throughout the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And again, I would never believe anyone on any of their paranormal stuff if it didn't happen to me. If I didn't see my grandpa on the staircase, like, after he passed away.
Once you experience it, it becomes a whole new world.
Yeah.
I've always told people, you know, if you watch these videos and they're purely entertainment for you, that's totally great. But you won't really change your opinion until the day that you see something that's unexplainable that occurs to you. Because that just changes everything.
Also, I want to apologize for the way I was reading quick. It's so hard to read something and put, like, passion into it, or, like, put, like, context into it when you don't know what's coming up next. So, like, if it was just, like, if it was just monotoned, I'm sorry.
I think you were great.
But you guys know this series. You guys love when I do it, reacting to your scary stories. I hope you guys really enjoyed it with our guest, Haley Reese.
I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I'm you guys, like, sitting next to him, like, you guys are, like, watching it. I'm just there, like, my eyes are going everywhere. I'm, like, listening to every word.
And over on Haley's channel, we are reacting to another insane, crazy story. She actually picked this one out, so it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to listen to it and give my input on it. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to us on all our social medias, which are going to be in the description down below. And
let them know if you want a part 2.
Until next week, I will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.